I mean, I think I've always had the ability to compartmentalize the different aspects of life. I've been this way since elementary school, and life has just gotten more and more complicated with family, with profession, with job, with sponsors, with work. Being able to show up on a start line and being able to say, this is my focus now, it is very helpful. Much the same way that it's helpful to know when I finish, and I want to have done well, my kids are gonna love me no matter what, and they're not really gonna care, nor will they have any idea of what happened in the race. At the end of the day, there's gonna be one victor, right? The person on the top step of the podium is the happiest, and everybody else is varying levels of content or discontent. To go to a bike race, to go step away from training and know that I'm doing it, it feels selfish on one hand, because I think because I still love riding a bike. Like, I enjoy training, I enjoy being in the midst of intervals. I don't enjoy the time away from family, but it does very much feel like, okay, I'm here for a specific purpose and I'm going to get the job done. And if I win the race, great. If I'm last place, okay, that would not be so great. But being content with the outcome, knowing the work that I put in, and then I get to switch that all off and just go home and hang out with the fam.
I mean, Ted's always been, he's a dedicated individual. I never got to experience him, you know, training for the World Tour, and so this is my first time like seeing him 100% dedicated to his goal, and to see the things that he's willing to put aside, the sacrifices he's willing to make to kind of see again what his best can be at this point is really inspiring. It's fun that we get to share our passion of cycling, and we really do enjoy having that be a lot of the bulk of our time together. It comes down to being intentional, and we try our best to set aside that time to be together. I pretty much have a built-in motor pacer anytime I am in need, so that's, you know, it can get me into shape really quick. I see everything, you know, I see the highs and the lows and in between, and I still am able to say that it's pretty remarkable what he's able to do. So just that example for his kids is, you know, apart from what his performance ends up being, is a huge and important example to them, and something that I hope that they'll look back on and remember.
My most recent Unbound 200 was 2021, and things went really well. I finished 4th. That's a central focus of this year, and the past countless hours spent on the bike have been around this race. All throughout my career, I've trusted in the process. I've looked at the training and I've done the training. I've been able to control the variables with which I can control and go into the race. And I mean, you can work yourself up so much for a race like Unbound. You know, drones flying, cameras everywhere. The start line is just this like palpable energy, and you could get so invested in that. Or just be at peace. I mean, I try to be at peace. It's like I've done everything I can do, and if things go haywire, so be it. Control it while it's happening. If things go great, then hopefully that's the case. It was the most recent time that I did it. We were shooting right around 10 hours, going just sub 10, and I think that's an absolute standard. And it's not just that you're gonna have 2 or 3 people going over at that point. Now you have sprint finishes with a dozen, half dozen. I mean, I think the front group's only gonna get bigger, which was unheard of when I first started doing it, to have a finishing sprint. I would like to have gone into the year and seen top 10, top 5, podium, victory, top 5. I'm finishing top 10, top 20, in that range. And it's wild because in my mind, as the pure bike racer, like, I want to be in the top 1%. You know, I want to be on the podium. Then I'm getting congratulations from friends and fans who are paying attention to the races, and I mean, that's one level of perspective. Like, yeah, shoot, I guess I did finish, whatever, 18th in a race. And it speaks to how fast that front group are. I mean, there have been plenty of times when I'm in a front group of racers looking around thinking any one of these people can successfully land on the top step of the podium.
We are in Emporia, Kansas. It is Thursday morning, 2 days out
to the hour, to the minute from the start of Unbound. We're gonna go get some early morning riding in before the storm. They're forecasting some precipitation over the next couple of days. We're out here to beat the heat. I mean, truth be told, man, I've been to Emporia 7 times now, and I've never felt it as cool as it is right now. So beat the heat, beat the dust, beat the pending precipitation coming in later today. It's a full day. It's like all peaceful right now. And I know the beginning of the course, I know the middle of the course, I know the end of the course, I know all of it. It's funny from the perspective of feeling really good right now. And then knowing that you'll be in a world of hurt in 8 hours and how well you're going then. You know, in traditional gravel form, big group, that's just forever whittling down. I think we started with 200, and halfway through the race, I feel like we're still at 100. And then that's when the real attack started going. Man, I was still there in a group of 30. Happy with that, still felt pretty fresh. And then, I don't know, the wheels came off. I had a big error in the first pit, 70 miles in. I saw how quickly everyone was going through it. And so I got to my mechanic and I said hydration only. And in my mind, I meant to say hydration and my 2 flasks full of Untapped. But I said hydration only. And so then I was back in the race and people were sprinting straight out of the feed zone, which is why I saw the immediacy of needing to do that. And immediately I'm like, shoot. And I started asking people for gels. Then fast forward another 4 hours and I had horrible stomach distress. So much so that, without being too detailed, I was like, I could not get to the finish line without doing a number 2. Pull over to the side of the road, hydration pack off, jersey off, shorts down, doing a little business in the woods. So much horsepower, so much speed. I mean, that was sort of the joke in the peloton for the first hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. What the heck is happening? This is ridiculous. My time in whatever I got, 34th, something like that, is nearly on pace for the fastest ever time. I used to say, until very recently, everybody's going to have good moments and bad moments, even the person who wins. I don't know if that's the case anymore. I think we've accustomed ourselves to these hyper long distances. So there's a good chance that Lachlan felt good the whole day. He's gotten used to racing for 9 hours. The physiological effort is massive. So yeah, I'm very happy with the process. I'm happy with what I've done to put the time in, the effort in, the resources. I don't know what would be bigger. So if this is dubbed the Super Bowl of gravel, I have no reason to argue with that. Yeah, there's so much hoopla, there's so much building up nerves all throughout the week. But then as soon as you start pedaling, it's like, all right, things are good. You know, at the end of the day, it's kind of like a national championship where there's one person who's happy, and that's the person who has a new Stars and Stripes jersey, or in this case has a new belt buckle. You can be happy with your race. Overall, I'm content, I suppose. I was really happy with the way I paced myself throughout the day so that there I was towards the end still in the front group. With that same output, that would have 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that would have guaranteed me a top 10.